Hi besties, welcome back to another one of my videos. Happy 2025. I was thinking of doing like a new year reset and like a book reset and all of that stuff, so that might be coming. I just might do it later in the month, so it might be a new year book reset video, but at the end of January. It's in the works. But I wanted to start this year off with doing my TBR for January. If you guys have been here and like watched some of my videos, you know how inconsistent I am when it comes to TBR videos, wrap-up videos, and those types of videos. So my goal for 2025 is to be consistent, and we'll see how good we can do with these. I think a lot of the times I have like very unmotivating months where I get into slumps, or I'm not reading as much as usual and I just like get down on myself about it. So they're either going to be combined or they're going to be separate, and we're just going to go through and hopefully get as many as we can in this year, and try to be consistent. So what more than to start the year off with a bang? My January TBR. The way I did my TBR this year, I don't have my fiance with me, but he helped pick my books for January. So I'm just going to go through all of them. No rhyme or reason. I'll go through the couple that I'm already in the middle of, and that's kind of why they bleed into my January TBR. And then I have a couple new releases this month that I'm super excited for that are on my TBR. So let's get into it. First book that I am in the middle of, so I will be finishing in January and it'll be on my January TBR, is the first book in the Arranged Marriage trilogy. I have the omnibus, I think it's called, version of this, and so I'm just doing book one for this month. I think for the next like 3 months I'll just read one book and just knock this out. This book has been on my TBR for quite some time. I think I always range like how long a book's been on my TBR from what place I lived in, because I have moved. Something about me is I move every year. This is actually the first apartment we have lived in for more than 1 year. I'm going on year 2 right now. So very exciting. But I've had this since like 2 years ago. So another big goal of mine, which I'll go over my goals in that reset, like yearly vlog video type of thing. But one of them is definitely to get through my backlist TBR. And I'm really going to put that aside and then like put it in the forefront of my mind. So when I'm making TBRs like this, I'm pulling books from that TBR. But long-winded explanation, The Arranged Marriage. This book is obviously an arranged marriage trope. It's like forced proximity. I would definitely look up trigger warnings. I think it's on more of the darker side, but not like the darkest I've ever read. So just warnings to go into it. The next book I'm in the middle of, and I was hoping to finish in December, but I got busy with the holidays. I have The Housemaid is Watching. This is book 3 in the final book of this trilogy. The first book started off so strong for me. The second book started off good and then it kind of fell. This book has not started off very strong for me. I don't want to go too much into it, but each one of these follow the same female main character, and they all have a different plot line of a thriller mystery. I would say like the first one was really thrilling, the second one more of a mystery, and then obviously I don't know how this one's going to pan out, but thriller mystery type of vibes. I mean, she's a very popular author, so you guys probably know this book or know this author, so I don't need to go into much detail. Next up, which I'm super excited for 2025, because this is one series that I'm tackling this year. If you guys have been following me, you know that I'm in my Cassandra Clare universe right now, and this is the year for the Mortal Instruments. I think it's 6 books or 7 books. The first book is City of Bones. I will be reading this month. I'm super excited to dive back into this world and dive back into her writing. I'm going in this with my hopes lower than the last 2 series I read by this author, because this is her like debut series in this universe, I think. So a lot of people have told me the writing is like not as good as her later work, which is understandable. I just fell in love with those, like both trilogies I read so far. So I'm super excited to dive into this world and get back to these characters and these families and the magic system and the whole Shadowhunter world. It's just so good. And for it to be YA and then me be in my adult years and just loving it still is priceless. I am so excited. Next up, I didn't realize there's one more book I am in the middle of. Give a little explanation. I am reading The Perfect Sun. I was traveling over the holidays, and in one of the trips of the long hour car rides, me and my fiance started this book on audio. So this one's a tentative on my TBR. I threw it on my TBR. I don't know if I'll finish. We've been slowly listening to it together when we do like activities together, stuff like that. So we're about halfway in. So I probably won't finish it this month, but I'll try to finish it this month. But this one, if you don't want to know what it's about, skip a little ahead. But this one is about this girl who disappears the night before, and they're like interviewing the mom because her son is a suspect. It's pretty much the premise I got from the back of the book. I go into these books blind. Every thriller I really go into blind. I like the ride. The next 3 books I am very hopeful for. First up, I have Reclaim by Belle Harper and Jenna Daring. This one is one of those books that's been on my TBR forever. I got this at a book conference 2 years ago now. So it's a mafia duology. So it's only 2 books, and it's arranged marriage, forced proximity, dark mafia romance. That's all I got for you. But I'm super excited about this one. I remember meeting the author, and she was so sweet, so nice. I need to read this book. It's also the last book I have that I got at that book conference, so finish it up. Next book that my fiance got me for Christmas is Ivy by Devaney Perry. I have read the Indigo Ridge, started that series. I didn't end up finishing it. It felt really repetitive, so I moved on. But this one I've heard really, really good things about. It's like her thriller mystery. I think it's like a solo book. Honestly, I don't know much about it. It's just about this like high elite society with all these like wealthy students, and they have a bunch of secrets, and the back says, "Go ahead, whisper your confessions in our ear. We promise not to tell." That's just intriguing to me. I don't know. Like high society, rich people, drama, I'll eat up every single time. Like when I was a child, I would sit and rewatch Gossip Girl over and over and over again. Like that is the only show I watched in middle school. So it has like a special place in my heart, like those types of atmospheres. Another book on my TBR, if you've been following me on any social media, you would know I'm in my Rena Cat universe era. I'm in a lot of authors' universes at the moment. I feel like so many authors have so many good books, and I feel like I'm so behind. So I've been slowly working my way through Rena Kent's whole universe. It's like, I think it's like over 20 books at this point, but me and my friend are reading it, and we started with the Royal Elite series. So we read book 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is the 3rd one in that. So I think this is 7 books, and then we'll move on to a new series after this one. I'm not really sure. If you guys are interested in that, like, in the Rena Kent universe, you can look up her Instagram. She has like a reading order. There's like 2 types of ways to read in the order of her universe. She has it on her Instagram. We're reading one of those ways, but I am very hopeful of this one this month. I cannot wait to dive back in. The way that this one is structured is that most of her books are interconnected standalones, but this one, book 0, is about a couple, and then the first 3 in this series are about the same couple, and the last like 4, 5, 6, I think it's 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 is about interconnected couples that are like in these books. And like, I'm telling you, I'm eating up all the crumbs. I want their books so bad. Like, I'm so excited. So I will be reading this one, and then like the next one potentially. I don't have it yet, but if I have the time, I'll probably be jumping into it because I'm very, very excited. And then lastly that I have on my physical TBR is Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This is the like little short Christmas holiday novella she came out with this past year. I haven't read it yet. It's supposed to be set after the trilogy, so it's like the 4th book, the fourth and like final novella. You don't need to read this book type of thing. I'm excited. It has like a bunch of pictures in it and stuff, and it definitely gives holiday vibes. I wish I would have brought it with me when I traveled to read it during the holiday season, because I feel like it would have been perfect, but I indeed did not. But I don't want this to sit on my TBR for another year for the holiday season, so we're gonna get it crushed out this month. Lastly, for my TBR this month, I have one new release this month for my TBR. It's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you don't know, you should know. It's the third book in the Fourth Wing series. I'm not sure how many books there was going to be. I feel like I heard there was maybe 4 or 5. So this isn't the last one to come out, but I've been waiting anxiously for a year for this one. I'm so excited to continue their story. I also kept my TBR really light this month because if I get into the mood that I want to reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, I have the opportunity to because I kept my TBR light. But if I don't, I have more time to tackle more of my TBR, whatever mood I may be in. But definitely will be preparing and very, very, very excited for Onyx Storm to come out. So one of my most anticipated releases of the year, I actually have plenty. So there are going to be plenty of new releases on every TBR every month. But that is my TBR for January. Hopefully you guys got some fun recs from that. Drop a comment what's on your January TBR. I'm very intrigued. I've been watching like so many like favorite books of 2024 and that sort of thing. And I kind of want to do a reading vlog of like some of my favorite YouTubers' favorite books from 2024 or something. Curate a list of that. But yeah, if there's any other videos too that you guys would like to see, drop them in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching, for being here, for supporting, and cheers to 2025. I hope it's a great year for all of us.